Herzlich willkommen, liebe Leute. Wir sind heute in Düsseldorf bei Ubisoft und schauen uns Far Cry 4 an. Wir sind gerade auf dem Weg dahin und fahren stilecht im Tuk-Tuk, denn ihr wisst vielleicht, bei Far Cry 4 geht es in den Himalaya und da ist sowas natürlich auch angesagt. Deswegen schauen wir uns das Ganze mal an und ihr kommt einfach mit, begleitet uns doch ein Stückchen. Ihr kommt am besten mal mit rein und wir gucken uns das Ganze zusammen an. Kommt mit, kommt.
So thanks again for coming and I hope you have fun. My name's Alex Hutchinson. I'm creative director on Far Cry 4. So yeah, Far Cry 4 is obviously a brand new setting, a brand new world, brand new characters, brand new enemies, a brand new story. But in terms of features and content, probably the biggest thing is you can now play co-op in the open world, so you can bring your best friend in the open world and take over outposts and fortresses and bell towers with them. We brought in a lot of new vehicles like the hovercraft, like the gyrocopter, new animals that you can ride or use in battle like the elephant, new weapons, so new stuff everywhere. Another big feature worth mentioning is now within the main story even you can branch and choose to align with one faction or another. Yeah, so we always look for somewhere exotic and different, somewhere fresh that players haven't visited before. We like the idea of a holiday destination, that sort of vibe almost, although I guess you wouldn't want to go on the kind of holiday we're sending you on all the time. Yeah, somewhere exotic and bright and colorful and different from most shooters, which can be quite gray and brown. You know, somewhere filled with animals, and you know, this time somewhere with a lot of verticality, so that the gyrocopter and the grapple and other sort of tools are helpful. So it's been, by the time we finish, it'll be a 2-year production basically. So a lot of the team rolled straight on after Far Cry 3, and then after that myself and other people joined. So in the end it'll be 2 years. There's lots of new tools, so they're all unique. Obviously, the gyrocopter is new, the grapple, the elephant, the mortar is a new weapon that you can fire from a distance. So there's heaps and heaps of small mechanics, but the big system, the new karma system to encourage you to help villages, and then you can call them into battle with you. There's the branching narrative I mentioned before, where you can choose a faction to align with, which has different rewards, different sub-objectives, different outcomes. So there's a huge amount of new stuff. I know if Pat Matei, our game director, was sitting here, he would say elephants. He wanted to weaponize pachyderms. That was his big goal. For me, co-op as a big feature is by far my favorite. I think the fact that now you can, you know, tell your own story with your best friend is a massive change for the franchise. And I think the way we've integrated into the main campaign, where you don't have to play in co-op, you can still play everything solo, but you can if you want, is really great. They pay me to lie in these situations. Something I don't like. How to answer that question without getting into trouble? Well, luckily my job is to yell at people and make it. So I would have made. I don't know. I mean, any game development over a long period, you're always fighting the clock. You know what I mean? You're fighting, you know, how many people you have, how long you have, how talented your guys are, how lucky you are, you know, all the way along. So some things work out better than others. I wish we could have got more detail into the karma system, to be honest. But I still think it works great because I think that the guns for hire, bringing an NPC in is brilliant. I just think the base system could have been a little deeper. No, I mean, we were inspired by real-life conflicts and real-life places, but it's a completely fictional game. And for us, it's very personal. We're trying to create a world where you, as the player, can express yourself and tell your own story. So we try to get out of the player's way as much as possible and create a framework for you to play. So no overt political statements. I think lots of stuff inspired us. You know, everything from, you know, heaps and heaps of issues of National Geographic, you know, like crazy climbing documentaries and, you know, other sort of, you know, wilderness survival documentaries inspired us. There's a little bit of Tarantino in this one, I feel. You know, there's a little bit of comedic black humor crossed with violence. So yeah, there's all kinds of bits and pieces. But hopefully, in the end, we made something unique. That's the goal, to make something fresh. I mean, it's funny, we've said before, but when you have never been somewhere, or, you know, you've just looked at movies, you tend to get the Disney version of it. You know, it's all cliches and big things, and when you visit, it's the small things that have an impact. So, you know, I know the guys were super influenced by the various, you know, ceremonies they took part in, and just the feel and the tangible reality of the place. So when we came back, we rewrote the whole story, actually, and took a lot of inspiration from that trip. So in terms of map size, it's about the same size as Far Cry 3, but it's much denser. So we didn't think it needed to be bigger. It felt pretty big as it was, but we wanted you to always be stumbling across something new, to be distracted by animals, or, you know, an event in the wilderness, or something that was drawing your attention, a ruin or a tower. So we've packed a whole lot more content into basically the same physical amount of space. Yeah, for sure. If this was the real world, we for sure would feel awful allowing people to shoot all these poor animals. I think we'd also feel awful in real life for letting them shoot 400 people as well, hopefully. But no, I mean, for us, the line between fiction and reality is very clear, and it's interesting to watch which animals people worry about. No one likes killing the elephants, so which is lucky because there's no reward in the game and no positive impact for killing elephants in our game. But yeah, sometimes it is a little sad to shoot a tiger in the face with a shotgun. Yeah, there's heaps of new weapons. There's the auto crossbow. You can throw knives outside of takedowns now. There's grenade launchers. There's a bunch of new weapons in there. But of course, yes, there's a finite number of types of weapons in the real world, and because we're based in reality, there's only so many assault rifles and shotguns and sniper rifles we can put in there. But we've tried very hard to come up with as many new varieties as possible. Yeah, there are 5 endings actually this time around. So depending on what you do, not just with the Golden Path storyline, but with with Pagan Min himself, there's a bunch of different endings.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Back down and run some more. Exactly. There you go. Shoot some faces off some elephants. So, das war's auch schon wieder. Wir fliegen jetzt ganz schnell wieder nach Hause und ich hoffe, euch hat der Beitrag gefallen.